everybody, and welcome to day 56, 5, and 6 of the 100 Days Python Programming Challenge. And what is our topic for today, you might ask? Today, I will be showing you how you can use regular expressions in Python. Sounds like fun? Regular expressions in Python. Regular expressions in Python. To the screen. Let's use regular expressions. Hello, everyone, and happy Boxing Day. And I welcome you to day 56 of the 100 Days tutorial. I hope you really enjoyed 5 days of Christmas special. Now, let's get back to business. So, today I will be talking about regular expression. Regular expression are powerful tools for processing and searching and matching and manipulating string. Just like imagine you have a book and you want to find information in the book, but you don't want to like read the entire book. So you just like skim through the book for that particular information that you need. That is kind of what regular expression does. And there is the documentation of it. So like nothing has to be memorized. It'll just be constant practice, then you would get it. I put like a picture that explains that we have like basic regex syntax. What is regex? Regular, the reg, and the ax from the expression. So a regex pattern is a sequence of character that defines a search path. So these are some of the characters that we will be using. You see, if we use a dot, it means we want to match every single character except the new line. If we use this, we want to match a pattern at the start of the string. If we use this at the end of the string, and so on and so forth. So we would be importing the regex regular expression. So we're importing re. So the first thing that we want to do is that we want to check if a pattern exists in her text. So we'll be using the search, the re search, to check if it does exist. So this is my text. And then what is my pattern? What pattern do I want to check? I want to check if the word cat exists in my text. So this is the way I would do it. I'll say my pattern is equal to R, and then what am I searching for? I'm searching for cat. And then how do I now search for the cat? I will then use the re.search because I want to search for this pattern. I want to search for the word cat in my text. So, and then what it would do, what I want to do is to print out the position. If it finds the pattern, then I want you to print out the position, what index it starts from, and what index does it end, that I would have my full pattern. So let's print out this. So we use the re.search. And then what are we searching? We're searching for the pattern. Where are we searching this pattern in? We're searching for it in text. And then when I print this, you see it found the object. It found it from index 9 to index 12. So this is where we found our match. It is in between in 9 to 12. And we found our match there. If I want to now search for something that doesn't exist, for example, if I want to search for lion, lion is not in our text. And when I run it, you see we get none because it searched through our text with our pattern, but it did not find it. And how were we able to do it? We're able to use the re.search. You might be wondering, like, where does this come into play? Where do I even have to use regular expression? There's a practice example at the end of this tutorial. So I will show you in areas where regular expressions can be used. The second thing that we have is compiling regular expressions. We've used the re.search to search for patterns in our regular expression. We can use the re.compile to compile a particular pattern for reuse, which can then be used to improve readability and efficiency. We will be using our text a lot, this same text. So keep note of it. I have a cat and dog. So now let's use our compile. Compile is kind of like same as the re search, but so instead of, let's have this, we have our pattern is equal to re dot compile. And what are we compiling? It's kind of like similar. Instead of putting it separately, I'm just like putting it together. So do not worry. So re dot compile. What are we compiling? Cut. And then I want to search for the text. And we have pattern dot search. Where are we searching? We're searching in text. And then when I run this, we get the same position. So it's just like another different way we're trying to, because we want to make it reusable. We want to make it reusable, our pattern, which would improve readability. Here we just search for it, we're just printing it. But with this, we can reuse this somewhere else. We can reuse this. So we can use re.compile to compile a pattern. We're compiling a pattern for reuse, which can improve readability and efficiency. And if this same pattern is used multiple times, this is how you can do it rather than having to like specify it at individual places. So the next thing we would use is the re.search and re.match. For search, we're searching for a pattern anywhere that it exists in the string, while the match, we're only searching at the beginning of the string. We're not searching anywhere else, just at the beginning. So let me show you, for example, still using our same text. If I have re.search, what am I searching for? I'm searching for dog in text. And then if I run this, you see we find our position in our text. So we've done our re.search. The next thing that we'll do is re.match. Re.match only matches the pattern at the beginning of our string. Again, this is our string. I have a cat and dog. Let me paste it down because now we're scrolling to the top so you'll still be able to see it. So I want to match what is our first thing in our string. Our I is the very first thing. So that's why I'm matching it with the first. It only matches the pattern at the beginning of the string. So when I have this, we would have our pattern that from 0 to 1. If you use something else, you would get none because that is not at the beginning of the string. So imagine you have a book and you know that you're looking for a sentence in the book. You don't remember the entire sentence, but you know the first word of the sentence. This is kind of what match does. It just finds the position of the first word in your text at the beginning of your string. So then the next thing that we'll do is splitting our string with re.split. So imagine we have our string and we need to split it based on the pattern. Now we'll be using this our regex meta characters. So this is our text. You see, it is one string, and in our strings we have different fruits, and the different fruits are separated by different punctuation, different characters. We have our comma, our semicolon, and our full stop. And then we want to split it at each different punctuation. So when we see a comma, we want to split. When we see a semicolon, we want to split. When we see a full stop, we want to split. So this is how we'll do it. We'll have our split text. We'll use our re dot split, and then our r, and we have our re dot split. And then I want to be able to like specify that I want any of these characters, if it finds any of them, the comma, the semicolon, and the rest. And we see that we use a square bracket to match a set of characters that I specify. So I want to match the set of characters that I specify inside of it. So first thing that I would have is my square bracket, and then I would have my comma, because if it finds a comma I want it to split there, and then a semicolon, and then a dot. If it finds a dot, I want it to split there. I would also want to add that if it finds like a space, a new line, a tab, and whatever, then it should also split. So I'll have my new space character finds this, then it should split. And what are we splitting? We're splitting our text. And then I will print out my split text. So now at the point where we have all these characters, it should be splitted, if that's a right word. And when I run this, we have our apples. You see it search through for our comma, and then it split at this position, created a space, and then it also found our semicolon and it split. So rather than having one string, we then have four strings. That is how we will split. You specify your pattern. If you have lots of text, you check what patterns can you find in the text, and then you specify them. Or you can use some of our characters in the regex meta characters, and then you split it by those characters. The next thing that we have is substituting pattern with resub. So the regular expression sub function replaces matches with oh, you found a match, but now you want to replace it with a replacement string. So I have my text, and then I want to replace everywhere you see cat, I want to replace it with dog. So I have my new text. I will use my re.sub, and then if you see cat, cat, comma, then what do I want to replace it with? I want to replace it with dog. And where do I want to perform my replacement? In my text. That's where I have the string that I want to replace. And then let's print out our new text, and you will see that our cat would be replaced with dog by using the regular expression dot sub. And you run this, you see I have a dog and my dog is cute. Replace cat with dog. The next thing that we're doing is group. Group allows you to capture part of a match, and you define this by using a parenthesis around your pattern that you want to capture. So now let's say I have this email, this text, and I want to capture like the individual group of my email. I want to capture the name, I want to capture mail, and I want to capture com com, not the dot, just the com. And then we have our pattern equals to r, and then I would have my bracket. And I want to you can see that there's something that kind of like divides each. We have our at, and then we have our dot, and then you see we have one. This example is one, and this mail is two, and then we have like three different groups that we can have. So first let me put what is separating them. So we have our at, and then let me put another parenthesis. They are defined by using parentheses around the part of the pattern you want to capture. So you see, this will then now capture my example, and this is the art size, like separating it, and then this would capture my mail, and then if I put a dot and I put another parenthesis, and this will capture the So now let me now specify what characters that we have here. Let's check our table. You see, I think this is better because we want to match any single letter, digit, or underscore. And you see, it's possible to have that in your email. We have letters there. So I would use this W and the plus. And then the next one is the mail. The mail is kind of like similar to. So I would also use the same for the mail, and also the same for the com. And this we've been able to like group it into three different groups. And then we'll then do what? We'll then search for this group in our text. So we'll have match equals to re dot search. And what are we searching? We're searching for our pattern. And where are we searching? We're searching in our text. So this is the match that we're searching in our text. And then we want to use the group. So if we find this match, we want to group them to group 1, group 2, and group 3. So I've used an if statement. So if match, and then I would have print. I want to print out my groups. So I would have my first thing that I'm printing out is the username, because you see that this can be used when you're logged in or you use your name in your email address. So you can get your email address, you can get the domain name, and you can get the top level domain. So then what are we getting? Our match dot group and our first group, which is our username. And then I want to get my domain. This will be domain, my comma, and then my match dot group 2, and then the I level domain. I have my print, and we have the I top level, sorry, top level domain, and we have the match dot group, and we have 3. And when I run this, we should get our username, our domain, and our top level domain. So this is how we were able to group our regular expression, our text. I'm sure you must be wondering that why do we have a plus here? Because if you check our regular expression character, we only have the slash and then the W. Let me show you how it will look like without a plus. So if I remove this plus and then I run this, you see we only have the first letter, the first character. So having the plus is that it's just like trying to say that there could be more than one occurrence of our text, of our digits, of our underscore. So we want to capture it all. So that's why there's a plus here. So we have our example, our mail, and our top level domain. So now let's bring it all together where this can be useful. This is what we will do. We want to validate an email address with regex. And an email address usually has this pattern. We have our username, you have your domain, and then you have like the domain extension. So let's have a function to validate the email address. We'll get the email from the user, the email address from the user, and then we'll validate if the email address is correct. So let's have our dev validate email. And then what are we validating? Our email. And then what pattern? Now let's specify our pattern. What pattern can our email be? So we have our R, and let's check for the patterns that we can use. So we want to match the pattern at the start of the strings, and we want to be able to match characters that we specify. So we would use the second one, we would use the fourth one, we would use the plus so that we can have more than one. We can be able to capture it all. And then we'll use the slash, we want to escape meta character. So we'll use a bunch of the regular expression meta characters. This is our pattern. We want to be, it's possible that in your username, you'd have small letters from A to Z, you have capital letters from A to Z, you have the 0 to 9, and you have like people use underscore, percentage, the plus sign, the minus sign. You can specify what is usually commonly used. And then you'd have the at. Remember the way we were able to group them here, and then we'd have the The domain would also be from A to Z in both capital and in small letter. And if it has like a 0 to 9, or if it has an underscore, you're just like making sure that it works fine. And then the extensions would have the A to Z as well, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so we're matching the end of the screen. We also use this. So you see in this pattern, we've used like 6 or 7 different regular expressions character. And then what we want to do, we want to return maybe it is true if we find a match, or if we don't find a match, then we want to return that we did not find a match. So this is, remember, we use re match. Yes, re match to ensure that we found a match or not. And match, it only matches the pattern at the beginning of the string that we give. So we want to match this with the beginning of our string. So then let's get our email from our user. We will be using an input statement. So we have our input and then the text, enter your email, and then let's call our function. So if validate email, we're calling our function, we're validating this email, then we want to print that, oh, it's a valid email. Otherwise, we want to print that it is an invalid email. And enter my email, info at Beth Media. Where is my heart.com? And you click on enter. You see that is a valid email. Maybe I should put a space here so it looks nicer. Okay. And then if I enter like a rubbish email, and we get that it's invalid. So I know it's a lot. If you have been following, that is awesome. But these are simple examples of how you can perform regular expressions in Python. They make searching, they make filtering easy. And these are practice questions for you to try it out. Try it out and let me know. For this video, do not forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. And as always, the link to the Jupyter Notebook is in the description, so check it out and let me know what you think of our video so far. We're going. Thank you. Bye for now.